Call to order the Economic Development Commission meeting, and please rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Can we have a roll call? And I guess I'm calling that.
Yeah.
Mr. Beasold.
Present.
Erica is absent. Kelly.
Here.
Carl.
Present.
Robert.
Present.
Joe.
Here. John.
And I think we're good there. So Erica is gone this evening. We have a wonderful thing in front of us because we have minutes from January, February, and April. And if you guys remember March's meeting, we did not have a quorum, but we just kind of did not decide on anything or conduct any business, but we did meet the people that were here and just kind of talked about a few things. But did everybody have a chance to read these minutes? They were sent to you by email?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so for January's minutes, can I have a motion to approve?
I'd make the motion to approve January's minutes.
Okay.
I'll second.
Thank you. Kelly, second. All right. And February's minutes.
Do we need a vote?
You need a motion?
Motion.
We got the motion approved, so now we need to
Yeah.
approve them.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry. The motion to approve was.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you. February's minutes?
I'll make that motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Joe and Dave. And a motion to approve?
Aye.
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 All in
Aye.
favor? And April's minutes. I have a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Dave
I'll second the motion.
and Rob. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the minutes for January, February, and April do pass. So thank you, Margaret, Anthony, for doing this for us in this committee. We appreciate that. On the agenda tonight, I have rewritten all the facade adjustments and tweaks, and I'm sure you would take these two down here because these are fresh copies. And if you can give one to Kelly too down there.
Are they different from what you sent?
Yeah,
Oh, they are?
I made some adjustments and there was some spelling mistakes. We'll probably find a few more, but we'll any little tweaks. So I would like you all to review what has been printed. Would you also pass one to Mr. Aurelio and
Thank you.
Jason, do you need one there too? No, thank you. Huh? No, thank you. Okay. And I'd like you to review it, and if there's any tweaks, we'll make final corrections tonight. And if we can, please review pages 1 through 6. If this meets the board's approval tonight, then we'll let Jennifer type them up and give them to Mr. Aurelio, and he can present it at next month's board meeting for approval in concept of this facade and beautification program. So let's just take each page at a time. If you'd look at page 1, and if you kind of review through that, we read it last time, so but item 4, we did add signage, which was one of our suggestions last time.
Was it a specific signage that we said?
We said what?
Was it specific signage that we
Well, it
said?
just has to meet, the code.
The St. John Municipal Code and signage.
Okay.
But, yeah, if they were going to do that, but we kind of left that generic, Kelly, but if you think there should be different
No,
language.
I just, I'll look at my notes to see if it triggers
Mm-hmm.
anything.
I do have one question.
Yep.
In number 2, the U.S. Highway Overlay District, is that commonly known, or might we consider putting that in an appendix?
Yeah, that, I believe it's identified as section 24-341, which is in the top municipal code.
Bring it up for you.
Got it, okay. Got it, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a
Might-
map, but it's been
Yeah, and
cited.
we did, Carl did talk about adding to this packet the zoning maps so residents can have an idea on which we'll have to, see how that works out, but I think we should put a map in there too, so. Or at least online, so.
Well, you save yourself the questions being asked, because someone intuitively will say, where is it?
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. So that's in the first paragraph, and if you move on down through page 1, does anybody see any other corrections or additions that they possibly would want to make?
Yep, that's right.
Everybody get through page 1? Okay, page 2.
In lieu of not having a town manager at this point, right, Mike? That's still not cemented?
So, God willing, it is on the
Tonight?
agenda tonight. So,
Okay.
I should say, it is on the agenda tonight. God willing, it'll be approved. We'll
Okay.
see. So,
So that won't be anything that would slow us down moving forward.
we'll know after tonight, but probably not.
Okay.
I think we'll be in good shape.
Have we
Notice
moved-
on page 3, Dave, I just kind of left it name of town manager.
Right, no, but I mean, number 9 here, it says right away, applicants must meet with the town manager. Well, it's kind of hard to do if you don't have one.
Well, I
Well-
mean, by the time
Right,
this even gets available, we'll have
right,
a manager.
we hope.
On 10, I think it just need a T after the S for Saint, just a type on number 10.
Yep. And what now?
Oh, yep. missed the
St.
T.
John, the town of ST
It's
period.
ST at the moment,
Yep,
right?
yep. Thank you for that. Good catch, Kelly.
I do have a question in paragraph 12. The third line of paragraph 12, talking about when projects must be started and completed. The third line, is it eligible for a single 3-month extension, or are there a number of different 3-month extensions that are possible?
Last month, when we talked about it, we thought that if there was inclement weather,
No, I understand
Yeah.
that. I just think that as it's stated, there's either a typo there or something. So is it eligible for a 3-month extension or more than 3-month? More than one 3-month extension periods?
I believe we said it
We
was
had-
more.
Yeah, we didn't we address that somewhere else, though?
Yeah, we did talk about that
Yeah, I
briefly.
think we addressed it somewhere else in
We did.
here.
I thought it was at least one or more,
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was-
just in case.
So then I just think that sentence needs to be corrected because it doesn't read properly.
I agree with you. Projects are eligible for and it probably should say just 3-month extension by written request. The number 3 sounds a little misleading, like you
Yeah.
could get 3-month extensions.
You're right. Or A3.
So just strike number 3.
Just number.
Just
Just
yeah,
number.
number.
all right? So approved projects must be started within 3 months of the approved project and must be completed within 6 of the EDC approval. Projects eligible for a number,
Or would you say for a 3-month extension?
3-month extension.
projects are eligible for a 3-month extension. We can take the number 3 out of there and leave it written.
No, you can leave the 3 in there like
Yeah.
you do everywhere else.
Yeah.
Just that
Okay.
word
The
number.
number kind of is misleading.
The word
3-month
number.
extension by written request. Very good. Thanks, Carl. Good catch.
So I think you need to, so the first sentence, it should say within 3 months, correct? That's how you read it.
Right.
Within,
Where it says started with, it should say within 3 months.
Within
of-
3 months, that's great. In 3 months.
okay, very good. Very good.
So is your wish to have some wiggle room there to have multiple, just in case something crazy happens, they have a 3-month extension and things happen, right? Everything's out of stock now. So numerous 3-month extensions, more than one? Because this, to me, when I'm reading this, it sounds like a 3-month, just one.
I think when we talked about it last time, it was basically an arbitrary number because we realized, and that was part of the discussion, try to find lumber right now.
Right.
Or
I need
try to
windows.
find a contractor that's not backed up because of,
Gotta get cement board.
of what's going on with some of this stuff. So I think if you give them a number like, hey, you can hit 3-month extensions, they'll use each one. Where if you make it somewhat arbitrary, you can just tell them individually, hey, we realize there's some contractual problems or some supply problems. If you need more than 3, please come to us. Wouldn't that be easier to deal with individually?
For sure. So does it read, so A, if I'm an attorney and I want to sue everybody, so if I put A and then you allow for more than one, does that get us in trouble? Or if you get rid of the A,
Well, you would have to change it to,
It's
projects are
eligible for
eligible
3-month
for
extensions.
3-month extensions. and-
should you get rid of the A before the number
Yeah,
also?
and then you'd have to add an S to extension to
Or-
make it plural.
Or maybe, since we're wordsmithing here, why not, I'm suggesting maybe we consider projects may apply for a 3-month extension.
There you go.
Then it's open, it's not necessary, it's not a
Projects-
shall approve, but it's a
Right.
may approve.
Projects may apply for.
like that.
Plural.
I like that, yeah, may apply for a 3-month extension by written request to Economic Development Committee. Very good.
For a,
Then that takes
By
care of your
written
attorney
request.
concerns, Mike.
The more
Well done.
ambiguous, the better.
well done.
Well, yeah, and that's the other thing. We'll probably shoot this, once the document is printed, we're going to shoot it by that attorney. So, because we have that option here with the board that
All right, and I know
eyes on it.
we only briefly talked about this last time, but in number 13,
Yep.
are we going to have a chosen member of this committee to be the liaison with the town manager?
And you're looking at me, Dave? Sure.
No, but I mean,
I mean, yeah. No, I think,
who's vice president?
well, no, here's the thing.
Well-
I think, and it's just my humble opinion, but I think that every member on this committee should be involved at some phase or not, because the inclusion of all of us, it makes it a stronger and a better decision. So, if I'm not available and Rob and Kelly can do it, or Carol can
Right.
do it, or
No,
you,
I'm open to that. I just,
I think we should,
but our town manager is going to need to know,
well, I'll talk to him.
you know, who to contact, whoever, you know.
He'll probably contact me, and then I'll try to divvy it out if, as they come available.
John will go, Rob is more than
If-
willing to help.
If Rob is sitting here next year, if Rob's sitting here next year, he can divvy it out. Or
Pass the
Kelly,
buck.
you can sit, no,
So
she's
I-
big.
I do have a question just about the town manager role. And we don't have the town attorney present, so I don't know if anybody can answer it. But right now, the town's been without a town manager for a period of time. So naturally, there are certain things by our legal governance requirements that a town manager must be involved in the decision. For something like this, is it possible that a designee or can serve in that capacity instead of the town manager, so
The
that,
Town council.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that right now, it depends, but it's Brian Blazak, or
Yep.
was. So that's a great question. So he is actually, like, he would be like an acting.
well, he's the so willingness is one thing, but, you know, like, the legal requirement is another. So if there's money that's gonna be spent and a decision has to be made, does our governance require the town manager, because of the form of governance we have, to make that decision? Or can somebody make that decision in lieu of the town manager if the town manager is not available for some reason?
Well, I think the award has to be finalized by the town council anyway. So,
That's a different question.
Yeah, so to answer your question, I think that that's not required. I don't think, without asking our attorney, I don't think it's a requirement of our type of government, our setting, to have the town manager approve that. I don't think so. I think it comes on the town council. So he's acting as a agent of the council,
So.
town manager.
So is it too late, or is it aggravating if it's suggested that maybe we consider the town manager or, his/her designee? So that in the event, so that absolutely everything that the town is trying to accomplish doesn't come to a grinding halt in the absence of a town manager, so that all decisions don't have to flow through an office that's got an empty chair?
That's probably a reason. I was thinking that too when I was reading that. Town manager or agent, or designee, that's probably.
I mean, certain things are required, but if they're not required, my thought is we should try to keep it flowing as much as possible.
I think that's a good, what do you guys think?
Well, you want to do a town manager and/or a member of this committee approved by the town council?
Got that already there, but just town manager or, like I said, agent, or something like that.
agent of the council.
Or,
Or that legal entity in the town, whether it's a town council member, or if that decision has to be made by a quorum of the town council, something that's definitely not the town manager, but still a legal replacement for that decision.
So-
We could put that, we could put in there, a town
town
manager, or agent of
management.
the council, and then footnote it for the attorney, and once the attorney reviews it, that'll be the.
maybe get rid of town manager
Well-
and put down town management. That'd be much more broad.
I mean, the attorney the town attorney isn't going to need a footnote to let us know whether or not something that's written in there is not a legal definition or application of what we're trying to describe. So I think if we just put it in there, and the town attorney, upon review, will either say that's possible or it's not possible.
We'll ask them. Okay. We're, get into line 14. 3 years on the online facade, rebates. The process of how to apply. Contact town manager. Okay. Any other tweaks to page 2? Hearing none, we'll move to page 3.
The only question I would have is in line 3, do we truly have a facade rebate packet?
Say that again, Dave.
Do we truly have a facade rebate packet? So it says person complete facade rebate packet. Do we have that in place? Is that just a?
Well, that's this application
Right.
process.
Correct. Okay.
Probably, you could just say application.
Right.
Right.
Maybe it sounds like it's a phone book's worth of filling out paperwork.
Yeah.
I mean, some people may say, hey, wait, it sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah.
Not interested.
Yeah. But that's her choice, too.
Right.
Now, here's the thing too, if, as we get into this and this grows and we see that we need to have something covered, we certainly can go to the town council and see once if, they can make addendums to this and make sure that we're doing things correctly. So, anything else on page 3? Page 4,
Wait, I have a question on 5.
on page 5 or?
Yeah, so, no, on number 5, on
Number
page 3.
5, yeah, go ahead.
So sign facade rebate agreement, witnessed through notarization by the applicant, the building property owner, and the EDC? So are we witnessing them signing the agreement?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we're facilitating the program, but if town council thinks it shouldn't be in there and they should do it, then we'll take that out. But,
So we'll be here and we'll approve an application, and that applicant should be here. So then it's
Yes.
at that time they're going to sign the agreement,
that's correct.
right? Okay. Then it makes sense to me.
And we have a notary always available at our meetings? Because if they're going to be here and the requirement is for us to witness before it's notarized, then I would think that we should probably have the notary here. But if we're going to know that ahead of time, that shouldn't be a problem. Right.
Right.
Okay.
That's one of the notes we'll ask the attorney.
Yeah, do you need to have it notarized? That's a tall hurdle, inconvenient.
I don't know if we need it, but, I mean,
How much do you think typically the rebate, or the rebate's going to be, so the facade rebate? What
well,
do you
the
think
the
dollar?
first one is gonna be $2,500. This committee has a budget of $10,000.
Right.
And if this takes off and we have another applicant, and there's no other town projects or need for that money from this committee for something else in the town, the committee may decide to do a second applicant or grant a second request. We see this possibly growing. There's a lot of, just from our meeting and the people watching the meetings, there's been a lot of positive comments on it. People are calling now wanting to know.
It's a good program.
Huh?
It's a good program,
Well,
for sure.
I think it gives us, something that we can be very proud of here. Okay. I'll make a note here on, do we need a notary? Anybody on the board a notary?
I am not.
Are you, Kel?
Nope.
No? Okay. Okay. Everybody good with page 3? Page 4. We kind of went through this last time, but it seems to be that it's in line with what a few of the other towns doing the same type of thing. I'd like to review page 5 and other requirement documents. Kind of review A through J there. If we need to add or subtract anything that we may have missed.
I do have a question on the mortgage information section. The answer of whether or not there's a mortgage and the yes, no to the liens, deed restrictions, or, other things that are travel with the property, pretty easy. Easy to fill that space. On the yes, if yes, please list, I'm thinking it might be okay to say, or attach as separate documents, because some of those restrictions or property descriptions get to be kind of long and tedious sometimes, and they may not be able to fit in that little space.
So it's not so easy with a yes or no, you know?
Well, the first two lines,
If it's
super,
no, then you're fine.
first two easy, yes or no, but, you know, the listing restrictions sometimes can be problematic to, you know, fit it into a predefined space.
Please list or attach.
Pardon me?
Could you please list or attach?
Would you rather have that language?
Yeah, I think Carl's right, because some, you know, if you've got multiple liens, or if there's, you know, special, there's circumstances that involve trust or something like that, you might have to.
So then we will add, please list or attach
Supporting documentation.
supporting docs. Okay.
Are we
In
gonna,
Go ahead.
are we gonna hold them to H on the other required documents of 2 contractor quotes? Because we're asking them to be licensed in the town to begin with, correct? I'm not gonna lie to you, that, to get 2 that could fit into a certain window that are here in St. John could be a bigger challenge than you think.
I don't want to be too cynical, but I think sometimes just getting contractors to return phone calls is problematic depending on
That's my point.
their activity. Usually the phone calls get returned when they have no activity, like January.
I agree. I don't know. I don't remember that being part of the discussion last time, and maybe I just missed it.
And I think we did discuss when the contractors were actually going to do the work, they have to be approved by the town. But that's not to say that a contractor that's currently not approved by the town can
Right.
not get approved by the town.
Right.
If they do this, so.
Right.
I mean, you know, XYZ company could bring in KYC, I shouldn't use KYC, but. XYZ company could bring in a contractor, KYC, who's not listed in our town, but they
Right.
can approve for and get the approval to work in our town. And we can help push through that also.
You think we need to change it?
No, I don't remember us talking about having 2 quotes.
Yeah, we did last
Yeah,
time.
we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think to ask for 2 quotes actually does cover us in a lot of aspects also. Because we don't want, you know, someone, I mean, you could, if you own your own business, you can definitely do the work.
Correct.
But we need a secondary, you know, quote to actually understand the bidding process that was done. 'Cause we should involve a bidding process, especially as a municipal entity.
On other required documentation, letter J, I think I know what that sentence is asking, but we probably need to clean it up a bit so it's super clear.
What's your concern? Where it says may qualify upon written consent of the building owner?
Well, I think as it's written, it's not, it's not correct. It just, not the information, it needs something.
It doesn't flow.
Where it says applicant or co-applicant must be building or owner or tenant, comma.
In order to qualify.
Right, may qualify, who may qualify
Right.
upon written consent of
The
the
tenant.
building owner. Then I think if that's what we're trying to say, it needs to be rewritten.
I think if you remove the comma, then it all stays together. Building owner or tenant may qualify upon written consent of the building.
Oh,
owner.
Oh, yeah, that.
I would say put a period there, so put a period where the comma is, then sort of second sentence. A good reading would be tenants must have consent of the building owner.
You still need the written part.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or,
written.
alternate, if applicant or co-applicant must be building owner, period. Remove, period. Or a tenant, remove the comma, may qualify upon written consent of the building owner.
I think that
I
flows
wouldn't
better.
start the sentence with or, though. I would start it with a tenant.
Yeah, probably, you can get away with that if you're Ernest Hemingway. If you're us, probably not. Because it is a conjunction.
A tenant may qualify upon written.
Yeah.
I did have a question about these other required documents also. Should we be asking for a plot of survey? To make sure that they're not gonna be working on somebody else's property?
Well, I think that falls underneath the deed restrictions too.
Right, you've got some other proofs here, so yeah, you got, legal deed, legal description, property tax bills.
Legal description.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna change, line item J, applicant or co-applicant must be a building owner, period. A tenant may qualify upon written consent of building owner. Done a little better?
Sounds great.
Okay. Very good.
In the second to last sentence in that paragraph, I think you just need to add a letter B in there to,
I'm not hearing you.
in the second sentence from the bottom, I think you just need to put a B in there for the word be. Be repaid in full.
It just says E,
Just
yeah.
missing it, that's all.
E-E.
Where's that at?
Second,
Right above the he, she.
E. Yeah,
In the next sentence, I think you can just strike committee. 'cause
that's
you.
why I need a secretary tonight.
Well, I thought it looked pretty good. I thought you cleaned it up
It's
pretty nice.
Pretty rough here.
Then strike committee out of the last sentence, right after EDC.
Yeah,
That's redundant.
good. Okay. And then page 6,
same thing, we can probably strike the committee in that paragraph too.
Yeah. And then first sentence, if a determination is made, the word currently reads if.
And if you go back to page 5, the very last word, I think it's read, not ready. The very last word.
read.
Red.
Red?
Read, yes,
Yeah,
read. Read, read.
Then we need to change understand to understood, or has read and understands. So we have
Yep.
tense agreement.
Yeah, I understand.
So that next sentence,
All right.
You're crushing your grammar, John.
is made.
Listen, this has been a nightmare. To get it all put together like this.
So the second sentence in that paragraph, I don't think it's a complete sentence. Like, what are we saying, what are we trying to say there? If a determination is made by the committee that program funds have not been used for eligible program activities, what?
Oh, yeah.
I think, take the period out, see if it continues on, it just isn't, it agrees to
Yeah.
return the funds if it isn't
Comma.
used.
Should be a comma in
Yeah.
a lower.
Yeah, yeah.
T.
Proceeds.
So run on then.
It is, yeah, it,
It's a big sentence.
Maybe we should get rid of proceeds. It's not really proceeds. Funds shall be returned.
Yeah.
Where does it say fund? Let's see what you got there. Proceeds and do it funds.
Funds shall be returned in full to the Economic Development
Be
Committee,
returned in
St.
full.
John.
And I got is here,
I think you have to get rid of one of those.
is made. Okay, fund, and committee's out.
And then I
So
would do
Proceeds,
period there.
funds again.
The St. John EDC acknowledges that with respect to such proceeds, so return he or she shall.
Should be funds again.
Right.
Such funds.
And yeah, I don't think we need Economic Development Committee, St. John EDC. Probably just St. John EDC.
Yep.
Very good. Okay. We can probably look at this again tomorrow and find a few more tweaks. All right, well, that was quite a process. So at this point, in conception, if everybody is okay with this, we'll take a vote on it, and then I would like to give it to Jennifer to put it on town paper, and then have legal counsel look at it. And then once they've done that and made their corrections, I'm sure they'll have a couple, then we'll give it to Mr. Aurelio, and he can pass it on to the town council. So in concept is, I'd like to hear a motion to accept in concept and approve this document.
I'll make a motion to accept the proof of concept on the facade rebate program and approve the document
As amended tonight.
as amended.
As a
second?
second, Joe? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Oh, can I just tell you something? I did talk to a chamber board member, just to put a plug in their ear about what we talked about. Is that something we do want to see, if they want any involvement in something like this to partner?
Absolutely.
Okay. So
Absolutely.
are we, am I okay to share the document? Like,
Let's get it approved
Okay.
first and get the final
Okay.
draft, if that's all right. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, it's off to the races, I think. you know.
okay.
But
Well, I think the
this
chambers-
is being
it's a-
filmed, so the town,
It's important the chamber's involved.
yeah.
Well, yeah. We'll give them that opportunity.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. It's been a few months working on this and kind of blending all our thoughts and ideas together here, and I think this will be a wonderful program for our town. So that is terrific. So, I'd like to talk about the next, the Commitment to Community Award, that we're supposed to hand out certificates each month. The question has come to the board here about, do we want to go through all the applications and feed through all this, or is this going to be the town department heads like they have done before? And how does everybody feel about going through all the apps that come in, and then by the time we get them in, it gives us like a week to go through them, and I don't think that's enough time, because this month, I got a phone call the other day that we're gonna hand out a certificate, but
Well, how are they currently submitted now, do you know?
They're submitted to Beth Hernandez's office, at the clerk's office.
And is there a time frame with that?
And, well, it was stipulated that they would like to do that once a month, and us being the vehicle, the EDC being a vehicle to hand out those certificates like we did to Welch's last month.
So I guess my question is, if there's 10 applicants
Yep.
and we choose one,
Yep.
do the other 9 stay in the pool?
That's why I understood it. I think I asked Beth that question. and
Yeah.
She
said
did
yeah.
say yes, yeah.
The only thing, if we kept it, would be, I think that you should get them, and then like tonight, we would decide for next month.
Correct.
If you kept doing it. You ever see what I'm saying?
We have to work a month ahead.
But right, then you it would be what you would decide. Let's say tonight would be presented if you keep it.
We'd also, we'd have to limit the discussion time too, because if you
Oh,
look,
yeah.
if you look now, we're 45 minutes into this meeting of an hour, and if we had, 20, 30 applicants to go through,
Right.
we wouldn't be able to meet that
Right.
timeframe.
Right.
And you eventually will, because if they just keep adding and adding.
They stay on
Yeah.
and you add
Right.
to. Right.
So I have no problem presenting awards as part of our charter, but I don't think it's part of our charter to make a decision on a community member or a organization or a business, because that could leave questions as far as a board making those kinds of decisions also.
And I agree with that.
Little favoritism or patronage or however you want to
Well,
word it.
yeah, I
Right.
mean, you have to keep everything arm's length, and I think that,
Well, and I think to be honest with you, a lot of the local people in the town, the public works and
Yeah.
police and fire, these guys are more in tune with what's going on in the city
Yeah,
or in the
absolutely.
town than we are on a piece of paper that says this is what they've done. And somebody will say, well, yeah, but they've been doing this for 15 years and we don't have that information, or, And so, I mean, I think it was great that they're the ones that came up with Welch's the first time around, and, for all they do for all the organizations. And, they could even prioritize them and say, hey, look, we've looked over 25 applicants and here's what we think are the next 2 or 3 that need to be considered or scrutinized. And then, I could see us maybe dealing with 2 or 3, but I don't know that we should have a list of 10, 15, or 20 that we'd have to, because Rob says that it's.
So,
so, Mike,
It-
how do you want to handle it on the town, on the,
I have a couple questions. Number one, is there some objective list of criteria through
Really?
that for evaluation? And so, I think that we'd have to have some discussion if we were going to take over that responsibility, period. And, with every single applicant rolling forward and being included for the next month, does that indicate, does the town want one of these awards to be presented every month? So if no applicants, if no nominations are secured during a month, is the process you dip into the rolling pile, or are the current nominations, do they take precedence? And I don't know. I don't have answers to those questions.
Carl, did you get a copy from Beth at all on your email to Making the Difference Commitment to Community Award?
Yeah, I have all of them. I've read them.
Okay, good.
All right, but that still doesn't answer my questions.
That's correct. But I think that we need some input from Mike on how he wants to handle the clerk's office when they received all that, and maybe a little direction from the town council on how you want us to proceed on it, because
So I would need.
you guys may have a different idea on this.
I can certainly talk to the other councilmen and see what their thoughts are. So I would be open to really, your comfort level with how the process for picking the applicant. I will say that 1 a month sounds like a lot. I think that sounds like too many. I would offer maybe 1 a quarter. I think would be a little more palatable. and make that award the valuable thing that it is, right? So, I think some of what you said there, you know, some of the other department heads or others in town getting their input, I think is very valuable. I certainly would be far from uncomfortable. I'd be comfortable with the EDC picking the award winner, or Beth's office. I mean, I think it's better having 5 than 1, but I would, encourage obviously reaching out to, their input. I think that would be okay.
Mike, would you see to it that, that all department heads get a say in this? Because I don't think that everybody has gotten a say. Since it's so new, I don't think everybody had all the information in front of them. And last time it was stated that all department heads, and I know that some of them did not get these documents.
I mean,
Is there a town department head meeting where all heads of departments meet on a regular basis?
So I would offer, so we're gonna get a town manager, hopefully, that will vote in, but it'll be a month before he, gets himself going. He would be a key person to get, he's certainly going to meet with all the
Yeah.
division heads, and that would be valuable. But I think your opinion is very valuable too.
well, I think the idea, if I remember reading Beth's email, was, take an opportunity for the EDC to do this, to, elevate its operational presence in the town, at the same time recognize contributing members of the community and single them out for thanks and give them an award. So, twofold, I get that. I just think that, if we do take that over, right, we should just make sure that we understand what our remit is, have some sort of process that's clear, that we understand how an award should be granted. I mean, of course, it looks to be fairly subjective, which is fine, all right? But
So
maybe a little bit more discussion on
I
that.
think you're on the right track. So maybe, a nice avenue would go is once this settles down with the town manager, you're the board president here, the chairman, maybe you sitting down with, the town manager, who that person would be, and then getting, a procedure, and laid out. I think that's very sensible. That's a good way to go.
All right, so I will, if the board is okay with it, then I'll meet with our town manager and report back for next month,
Okay.
if that's agreeable.
Right.
Okay.
And it may take you slightly longer than that, but
Pardon me?
it may
not
take
be
slightly
next month,
longer
it
than
may
that,
be
but
2 months.
All right, 2 months.
Well, you never know. You're right. So we'll hope.
He's an energetic guy.
Well, you got to have a goal, so,
Right.
Right.
Good goal.
Okay. Committee reports. Does anybody have anything they want to report on? Kelly?
I do not.
Oh, Joseph? No. Bob?
I've been writing letters to different businesses, trying to make them aware of the expansion our town has seen.
Yep.
Trying to get some people in. I've wrote recently this week, Ruth Chris,
Yep.
as well as South Bend Chocolate Factory. And previous month I wrote, can never remember the name of it. It's another ice cream shop in Michigan. They're a chain. And I just overheard someone the other day saying that they were bringing a business into town. Gentleman who runs the Coffee Cabin franchise
Right.
will be bringing into the old Centier Bank building, so it won't sit there and be an eyesore. He's going to renovate the building and put a ice cream and coffee place there.
Ah, good.
So we're going to look forward to that.
The only question that I have is, I kind of heard through the grapevine, did the Franciscan sisters, brothers, whatever, are they the ones now that are looking at the 96th Street?
2 parcels, I thought.
I have heard that. I have not heard conclusively, but I have
Okay.
heard that.
As kind of taking over the majority of that vacant.
I don't
The
know, was
back part of it.
Yeah, the back part. I don't think it's been, yeah, I'm not sure what percentage of it is, but the back part. I have heard that.
So that's, I've heard that too.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and am I correct that that's a Wendy's that's going in front there? Correct?
That's what I heard.
But obviously, if it is the
Yeah.
Franciscan, that's a non-tax revenue.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, we have very little control over what,
No, entity, right.
what a private business does. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like,
But that's not what his intentions was.
well, that's what, yeah, exactly.
Correct.
That whole project is different than what we looked at it
Correct.
in
Yep.
3 years ago.
So does that require a rezoning, or is, if Francis?
I don't think so.
Okay,
Carol, you had anything to add?
I do not.
I read something this week about a disagreement about lighted signs on 41 from one of our homeowners groups, which I love our homeowners groups, but my opinion on lighted signs, the new ones are by the shops on 96. I think they're a great idea for public safety, visibility. I think this town has got an upgraded image with some of these new additions that your board is approving, Mike. And I think that when the whole project is done within the community and on 41, people will be very impressed with coming here. I think part of those upgraded features will also attract other businesses too. So I just want to say thank you to our town board for making those expenditures, and I think the residents are going to benefit from clear signage and it being very visible. So I think it's a good benefit for the town. So that's all I want to say about that. But yeah, go ahead.
Wahlburgers was the other one I wrote this week.
Wonderful, wonderful. If you can get NSYNC out here to perform when they open,
Got to have those goals, right?
yeah.
That's right.
So if there's anything else on the agenda that anybody else would like to talk about? Nope. I'd like to have a motion to adjourn.
So move.
So moved.
I second that.
Motion carries. All in favor?
Aye?
Aye.